Do you want to aim like Benjyfishy and Demon1? Their aim is insanely smooth and controlled, but it's not just talent, it's a skill that you can learn. In this video, I'll break down what calm aim actually is, how the pros use it, and how you can apply it to your game. Stick around, and by the end of this video, you'll be on that path to that crisp controlled aim that will take your rank to the next level. Now watch this example of Benjyfishy and Demon1's calm aim under VCT pressure.
Starter here, a ticket to white face, no way! Demon1!
But Tens knows this, but does he know who's up again?
So what is calm aim? Well, many people think of calm aim as slow, but they would be wrong. In fact, there are many aimers who incorporate calm aim into their gameplay, even though they are seen as someone who has flicky aim, and Demon1 is a great example of this. Calm aim is actually the ability to read enemies' movements, aim smoothly with little crosshair jitters, minimize unnecessary movements, and keep calm under pressure. With that in mind, let's analyze a clip of Benjyfishy.
Oh my god, he is logging.
Okay, so this looks clean, but why? Let's break it down. On the jet here, he does miss his first bullet as he was walking while shooting, likely got surprised. After this, it's all about just being calm, trying to track the enemy, trying to read the movement of the enemy, and not sitting there crouch praying. So let's just watch it out here. Watching where the jet's going, moves his crosshair to follow, continues to follow, and then lands the headshot. Okay, so lastly, he ends up pop and swing in the sky while moving the crosshair to his head. And I want you guys to watch this in slow-mo right now. So first of all, he peeks off of a sound cue, then he sees the sky. Now what a lot of low elo players will do is they will move their crosshair and they will stop, and they will likely be around here with their crosshair trying to shoot while the sky has continued to move this way. Okay, so what he does instead is he continues to hit the A key to go left while watching the sky's movement. And you can watch these things by looking at the leg movements of the sky. All while doing this, he's moving the crosshair to the sky, tracking them. Sees that that leg stops to move, and now he's ready to hit the headshot, and there it is. The example that we just watched is movement reading at its finest, and we'll talk about that more soon. Let's look at Benjyfishy's settings. Benjy uses 800 DPI with 0.283 in-game sensitivity, which is an eDPI of 226.4. The mouse he uses is a Logitech G Pro X Superlight 2. On to the great Demon1.
So that's where Fly Lab are gonna creep on in, and Demon1 with the timing!
Okay, let's analyze this clip. Okay, so we're gonna skip past the first kill here, but watch what he does right after the kill. He moves that crosshair right away in anticipation for the next swing, okay? Then he sees the omen. He continues to move with the omen while watching him and moving his crosshair over to his head. Now in a second here, you're gonna see omen start to decelerate as he's walking. And what Demon1 does is he will stop before that happens so that he can shoot first. Watch this. There it is. So yet again, watch how the omen moves. Omen's moving, and right there you get to see the stopping of omen before he fully does. There's the kill, and then he does the same thing with the next kill. Okay, in anticipation again, follows with the crosshair, sees the cipher stopping, stops and shoots before he does. He plays on 1600 DPI with 0.09 cents, which is an eDPI of 144. And he plays with the G-Wolf's Haiti S Plus 4K mouse. What a name. So how does one become a calm aim demon, you might ask? Well, let's start with tension control. Tension control is very important in achieving calm aim. The best aim coaches recommend that you hold your mouse like an egg and treat your mouse as if it were an extension of your hand. Obviously, you still need to hold your mouse with enough grip that feels comfortable, without squashing it like an egg. When training with calm aim, you will notice that your micro adjustments and tracking are much easier than when you're holding your mouse with a harder grip. The downfall of holding the mouse with looser tension though, is that flicking and reacting will be more slow than if you were to hold your mouse with more tension. For me though, I much prefer to hit my shots more consistently than being flicky. I challenge you to go into a deathmatch or a TDM and think about how you are holding your mouse between each kill. If you are noticing that you hold your mouse too hard, take your hand off the mouse for a second and shake it off. You will find that your aim soon becomes a lethal weapon. Remember, in general, a relaxed grip allows for smooth and fluid motions within the game. Next, we cannot talk about calm aim without talking about movement reading. This is an underrated topic that deserves a whole video made on it, but for this video, let's keep it short. Movement reading is a branch of game sense, reaction time, pre-aiming, crosshair placement, and focus. Think back to those examples I showed you earlier of Demon1 and Benjyfishy. Movement reading is the ability to read where a player is going to move based on certain cues such as the enemy's legs as they start to decelerate, sound cues, and patterns. The goal here is to focus on where the enemy is going to move instead of shooting where they currently are. If you've been playing FPS games for a long time or you are at a high level, you probably do this unconsciously. The mistake I see many low ranked players make though, but even Ascendants, is that they reaction shoot. This mistake is why you lose fights and stay stuck in your ranks. Take a look at this example. Okay, this was sent in by a student of mine who has been struggling with their aim. Let's watch it out. Okay, so sees the harbor, ends up shooting too early and whiffs. Let's watch it in slow-mo here. Okay, so this is a prime example of reaction shooting. So when he first sees that harbor, let's watch where the crosshair goes and where his aim goes. So he actually goes where the harbor was, not where the harbor's going. And our ability to movement read and see that this harbor is continuing to go this way is really important here. He needs to follow that harbor instead of shooting right away. And I see a lot of low rank players do this. So let's watch it again, slow it. So ends up spraying right here, always behind the harbor. Once you've shot those few bullets, your recoil's now messed up, and to actually be able to bring it back onto the target is really hard to do, especially when a lot of the time they're going to move around and yeah, end up killing you. So, by learning how to read enemies' movements, you'll be able to identify movement patterns, track movements instead of spraying, and predict where the enemies may swing to trade or help their teammates from. Practice. Okay, practice makes perfect. To obtain calm aim, we must put the work in. Here are a few easy drills that you can start doing now. Firstly, go into a deathmatch and don't shoot at all. I know this sounds stupid, but trust in the process. You're gonna go into that deathmatch and just try to work on your movement and the prediction of enemies' movements. Take a look at patterns, see where they're walking, see what they normally do. Now, I know many coaches tell you that you have a lot of time before someone actually wins a fight in Valorant. But that's not really true. Though, if you learn how to react to movement patterns, you can actually boost the amount of time you have before you end up dying, which means more kills for you. Next, for the next 2 weeks, I want you to play 3 to 5 deathmatches daily. No spraying, no crouching, just taps and bursts. I do not care if you die to someone crouch spraying. I do not care if you die to someone giving you back shots. And you should not either. You should practice with the intention to improve, not to win. In these deathmatches, you should use the Vandal, but you can also experiment with the Guardian and Sheriff. What I love so much about the Sheriff is in theory you only get one shot. So you have to be calm with that shot. And if you miss, well, you better try to dodge the bullets and read where the enemy is going to shoot you from. The better you get at dodging bullets and movement reading, the more chances you will get. Now, I know there's not much pressure in deathmatches, so many of you are going to say that you aim so much better in a deathmatch than you do in ranked when RR is on the line. And that's honestly true. But because of this, we should try to simulate some pressure. For example, my old coach used to make me do 5 push-ups every time I got a body shot kill. You can do something like this. It doesn't have to be exactly the same, but think of something fun that will create some kind of pressure for yourself and actually commit to it. Trust me, it works. Also, another way to create pressure is by putting a time limit on yourself. So go into the range and put hard butts on and strafe while trying to shoot the heads. This drill helps calm aim because even though you have to shoot and react fast, you are learning how to play while under pressure. But if it's too fast for you, you can try this on medium bots. And there we have it. Calm aim isn't a specific aim style, but rather a key aspect of aiming that many different styles incorporate. Calm aim is about reading enemy movements, managing tension and how it affects your aim, practicing effectively, refining your crosshair placement, minimizing unnecessary movements, and staying composed under pressure. The goal of this video was to break down what calm aim actually is and how you can implement it into your gameplay. There is still so much to cover, like reaction time and emotional regulation, so I'll be making a video on that soon. If you made it to the end, you are serious about improving in Valorant, so hit that subscribe button and check out the video that is on your screen that would teach you how to improve at Valorant.